So the next topic to talk about would be finishes of brass instruments, especially our tubas and euphoniums. There are three main finishes that we usually talk about. One is a lacquer, which is typically that gold color that we see on most tubas. There's the silver finish, and then there's what they call an unlacquered finish. If you could please shed some light on the differences in manufacturing as well as the differences in sound quality for them.
Sure. I think the first thing to realize is that if you take an instrument, our brass instruments are made out of brass, which most of them is 70% copper and 30% zinc. If you have an instrument that is raw finish, so without a coating on it, whether it's lacquer or silver plating, that instrument is going to tarnish, which is the equivalent of rusting, basically. And so as it oxidizes or tarnishes, the instrument can wear, so you can lose metal, your hands, the oils in your hands take that off. So first and foremost, a finish is a protective coating to help keep your instrument in better shape for a longer period of time. That said, in testing, we have found that players prefer different finishes for different reasons, and not everyone feels the same. We have found that when testing tubas and other instruments that things that sound brighter and have more higher overtones, we perceive to be louder. And so if you're in the hall and you have a decibel meter on which tracks how loud an instrument plays, if I have a silver tuba, an unlacquered tuba, and a lacquered tuba, and they're all playing at the same volume, we're all going to hear the silver tuba as being more present and sounding louder, because silver plating actually changes the surface tension of the brass during the plating process, and it puts more high overtones in the sound. And so we hear those overtones and we hear that brightness, and so we think it's louder. So a lot of people equate that to being better. Now, when we're playing an instrument, when you plate an instrument or lacquer an instrument, you're putting a coating on it, and so it does dampen the vibrations a little bit. So a lot of people like the way playing an unlacquered instrument feels in their hands, because they feel like the instrument's ringing more. And if you look at custom French horns, they pretty much all come unlacquered. And I think a lot of it's because they are very in tune with how things feel, because they're very connected to their instruments. So that's from a sound standpoint. So that's where that's what the difference is gonna be. So from a sound standpoint, the silver plating is going to make things brighter, and unlacquered and lacquered is going to be a little bit warmer sounding.
Okay. Have you ever come across tuba players that might have a majority of the tuba, for example, maybe a silver, however, where the bell is at this crook point here, maybe it's a unlacquered bell to try and make a combination of sound?
Sure. I think as players progress and become more advanced, we want to tinker and we look for what's the best for us. Or if you've won a job in an orchestra and you're always playing in the same hall and for all of your work, you might try and tweak an instrument to be right for that particular job. And so, yeah, some people do have unlacquered bells or a silver-plated bell on an instrument that is unlacquered or lacquered. And that's, again, comes down to personal preference.
Okay. Hey, Music Man viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the link down here, and find our newest material by clicking over here. Thanks for watching.